a signature. So you're going to take, so this is my top. I'm going to go through, and because it's a signature, it's going to be on the left. The only time when you're pulling the thread through and it's on the right is when you're working on the front and you're flipping back and forth, okay? So your threads...
I'm sorry, because your left hand is over it, are you overlapping it, or are you coming in through the center of it?
Pulling through the hole.
From the outside.
From the outside, yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So here's it's coming from where I sewed. It is basically, we're kind of sewing on another signature, but you're looping over. Okay.
Thank you.
So you're coming with from your braid, and you're looping and over. So I'm working a kind of, I gotta put this one in before I start my alignment, sorry. So I'm coming through here, and I'm pulling to the left again when I get this going. Right? Now I'm working on aligning my book covers and my signatures, and I'm pulling that nice and tight. You got to kind of hold it loose and then tighten it. But you kind of adjust how you want that and line it up nice, okay? Now this is where these things being tight is important to keep your book from being too wobbly. So that's why I keep on fussing with it. I'm gonna get it nice and tight. So this is tight now. I'm gonna hold it, the outside thread with my thumb. I'm gonna take the needle, and I'm gonna go down 2 signatures, but the cover is counting as a signature, okay? So cover and then top signature. And sometimes this is hard to see because it's, underneath there. And you come around and you do your same pull through, little loop, knot, tighten, and pulling up. And it's nice and locked in. Now you're not gonna move that. You're gonna just test the tightness of this one here, and hold your finger there, and you're gonna go down under the first paper signature. So cover, second one is the paper signature of your text block. You're going that way, loop, go up through the bottom, snug it in there a little bit, pull it up. Now, that's in there kind of nice. So see how it pops open? That means I got it nice and tight. So after you get home, if it's popping up like that, you just put it under your Shakespeare or your brick or your book press or whatever, and then that'll help kind of tell the paper what you want it to do, and it'll stay closed more. So what you're gonna do now to finish this is you open this up, and you're to your inside of your first signature where you have this. You're gonna hold this nice in place. This is the time where I pick it up. This is where you like these nice and long, because then if it's too small, you can't get it in there. You're gonna go to the right of your braid, your station. So you're gonna go through the hole on the right side. This is a little tricky because it's tight on this first one.
Through the hole.
Through the hole.
The hole
of the signature.
No, that first signature.
Of the
signature.
Of the top signature.
Okay.
You're gonna go, so you're coming through the hole ideally here, and you're not splitting the thread. That's why I say it's a little tricky. So you wanna work it in there, and you kind of wiggle it in, and I'm like, okay, I can feel it on the other side because my finger's there, and it's not splitting the thread, I don't think. And I'm pulling it through. And then what this does is it pulls and it loops around your braid, and it secures that there. And I'm just gonna leave that one. Then I'm gonna do the same thing with the other station. Now this one's a little easier because you're working on the right side and the thread crosses over that way, so pulling it this way and finding that hole is easier on the top one. And I'm gonna pull that through. All right? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it over, and I'm gonna finish it off. And the way I finish it off is I always work the left side first, and I go, so if you have more than one, you have like 4, I always work the left ones first, and I pull this through, and I back it up to do, is that a slip knot? I think that's a slip knot, or a double knot, whatever it is, it's a knot. And I push it in there. My dad is horrified, right? And would be rolling in his grave right now, the sailor who tried to teach me knots all the time.
I think it's a half hitch.
Okay, a half hitch, there we go. So you're pulling it through, and you're pulling it through, and you're pulling it down. The reason I do it this way is because it's nice and it's fluid, and it tightens it that way. Then I turn it like that, and I work on the left side, and I do the same thing. So I'm going in through the top, but it's, the top when I switched it. And then I go through, and I pull it. You can do it the other way, but I always get myself confused, and then I'd have an ugly knot on one side, so this is the way I've done it. All right, now, and when you're doing that, you're holding kind of here so that you're securing the thread, and you're not pulling the thread too much out of, pulling the paper too much with the thread. Then you're gonna take it like this and give a gentle, like, kind of tightening to get those 2 knots tightened a little bit more. And then you cut to about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch to have your little tails, and you are done. Woo! And then you have a book. Now, if you had the 2-color thread that you tied together on the inside, you can go back and cut those tails there. And that's the only place where you have a knot in the front, but mostly the knots are in the back. And there's your book.